What is up, boys and
Let's
girls?
What's up?
We are back, torn between two brothers. Episode 20.
Episode 20, baby!
Yeah, we got a special guest in the building. Our first Zoom quarantine guest, which is Arthur Chen, all the way from California. How you doing, Arthur?
Good. How are you guys doing?
I'm acting like I didn't talk to you before this.
I know, right?
It's so weird.
Talked to you
We should have had a
forever.
curry
Literally
and just
2
like
minutes.
pull fucking Arthur in and just be like, it's Arthur Chen.
I pull aside the green
Superhero.
screens like, what up?
Literally. But welcome to Torn Between Two Brothers, episode 20, where we talk about things that are new to us, things that we enjoy talking about in the past, the present, what's to happen in the future. Welcome, everyone. We got a nice crowd here tonight.
Before we get going, I have a little PSA for you folks tuning in. This is a nice little PSA where please subscribe, or I'm going to recreate the entire plot of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But instead of shrinking the kids, we're shrinking ourselves, baby. We're going to get into our little spaceship, land right on your nose, into your nose, and take a tiny little feather and keep kind of scratching at it. And you'll forever have the sensation when you need to sneeze, but you can't get it out because it's such a microscopic feather that it's more of a nuisance like a mosquito than anything. So for those of you tuning in, please hit that like button and subscribe to see us. And hopefully you guys bring us enough people and attention so we can get out of this quarantine mode, man.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
Maybe we have like a 3D holographic of Arthur next time.
We down?
We need that
down.
YouTube money, baby.
First YouTube, then Coachella, you know.
Dude, that would be the life if our podcast was just like, there's a big fucking hip-hop show and people were like, well, I heard they're doing the podcast like a little ways down the way. Like, we should go check that out. The least informative podcast.
Have you seen like the H3 and even Chris D'Elia, who just got it canceled? That a lot of people are doing podcasts, like live performances of like this podcast entertainment. It's interesting to see the podcast transition from like being in front of a camera to like an on-stage performance of the same type of humor and material. I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. Dude, because it's fucking interesting. You know what? We're the least informative podcast, and you come watch us because most of you are friends and some of you are haters, but we fucking go, dude.
One thing we preface to Arthur is there's 2 rules in this podcast. 1, we can't tell each other the topic, so you're gonna be clueless. And 2, no phone checks. If you check your phone, you lose the game, and we kick you off Zoom, and you're no longer part of the podcast.
I feel like I could have kicked Justin off of Zoom a couple times.
Like, we can't be the only ones that are ignorant and don't know anything, and then have to. I love taking an actress or actor I don't know and taking like a long stroll through the forest through 4 different movies and supporting roles to get you that name. And that's the point of the podcast.
Dude, absolutely. And fucking
Arthur Chen, who are you? Tell the people.
Yes, dude.
Who am I?
Fucking yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, a lot of you are friends, so y'all know me from New Hampshire. Yeah, I grew up with these guys. Basically, we were part of Henergy together. Moved out here to Cali to pursue my career in video games. Did that for about 6 years or so, and now I am starting an esports bar here. So,
can you tell people, because I didn't know an esports bar was even a thing until we had gone to my bachelor party and there was an esports bar in Montreal. So like I think tell the people what it's about, like what you really want out of it.
Or maybe even your vision of what you picture. Like, explain what an esports bar is for the general sake, and then like what you think you're going to put a twist on your specific esports bar.
Yeah, absolutely. So the core concept is basically, you know, how regular sports bars, they show baseball, basketball, soccer, but we're flipping it on its head. We're going to be doing it the exact same theme, but for esports. So you got Call of Duty, you've got League of Legends, Overwatch, but we're going beyond that. We're not just going to have esports on the TVs and then a bar and that's it. No, we're actually going to have live gaming on site. So you're going to have 10 PCs, you're going to have consoles like the Switch, the PS4, or I guess PS5, that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Xbox. And then on top of that, the entire atmosphere is going to be designed like an esports arena. So you've got like the intricate designs on the walls, the LED lighting to fit the theme and stuff like that. So
that's
kind of our
dope,
vision
dude.
for it.
It runs me reminiscent. So this will be 2 throwbacks in a row.
God, I think you're gonna say exactly what I was gonna fucking say. Are you gonna talk about?
You say that one because I know we're gonna say the same thing, and I'll say the second one.
So it reminds me, back in the day, we had a plaza in Derry. And it was next to the movie theater, fucking Hannaford's, for those of you know it. And do you remember Mr. Bob's?
Bees.
No, Mr. B's. Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Bob. Just
Mr. B's,
I'm giving him a name.
Do you know the liquor store that's by Hannaford's in Derry?
Yeah.
That plaza or whatever? So there used to be a place where before Xbox Live was just kind of starting to trend, but they had that like esports setup where they had all the PC set up. They had Halo 2 and 3 set up, and they were one of the few, and it went out of business. Actually, a lot of people were there, but like it started to slow down. As you know, what's the interesting thing is, as Xbox Live became more prevalent, the less this place succeeded. And now we've gotten to a point where Xbox Live and PC gaming and PlayStation gaming are all online. And you've seen almost like that recession of wanting to
go somewhere,
socialize, and create that like esports environment.
Which is funny because the idea about the esports bar is pretty much like bringing LAN parties and competitions back into the conversation. Because you're saying, hey, this is what we used to do. Like, before we had Xbox Live, before we had the internet, before we had, well, not the internet, but before we had a lot of these, like, fucking hot commodities that we don't even think of on a day-to-day basis, you're saying, you know what, I'm just going to invert that and say, you guys can come back in and we'll have a competition, but it's going to be a LAN party. Like, you're going to be able to fucking have fun and socialize and be able to enjoy yourself. So the idea of an esports bar, I mean, fucking blew my mind when we were in Montreal. I was like, I didn't even know they had these fucking things.
Yeah.
So
the thing is the one we went to was more of a barcade esports bar, while Arthur's going to be more of like surrounded by the fandom of esports as a whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost meta to a certain sense. Like, there's so many levels upon which esports bar fit the need of, like, I don't know, the itch that we've been trying to scratch for such a long time. I mean, to the point, I mean, Justin, you can kind of fucking shed some light on this, but like, I used to take my Xbox over to your house and we'd have game night just because it's better than just playing on Xbox Live. There's something that's like missing for Xbox Live that back like LAN parties fucking, accommodated correctly, at least.
Arthur, do you have a favorite LAN party moment?
Oh yeah, I mean, I reference this all the time. I still remember when I was like a kid and Halo just came out, and we would have like these little like family parties or gatherings at the house, and the adults would socialize, they would drink, they would talk and stuff like that, and then the kids, we'd all go in the basement. And my buddies, they would bring their physically bring their Xbox along.
The freaking bricks, dude.
Yeah,
bricks of a system compared to what we have now,
now,
dude. Think about what the Xbox used to be compared to like a Switch, which is like a Game Boy now.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, the Xbox was like, God, it was like what, 10 pounds, 15 pounds.
Dude, the thing was gigantic, man.
It was a beast of
it was one of the few systems that didn't fit in like any backpack. Like you needed like a like a camping or a hiking backpack to be able to bring your Xbox anywhere. Otherwise, you were like this in the rain with a plastic bag.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, it was great. I remember those days. It was like either that or when people were playing StarCraft 1 on BattleNet. So I would have people like on one computer and then on another computer upstairs, and we'd all be playing like local area network and stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
those are like the simplistic days back.
And I think the smart thing about doing an esports now is, and I think that's why you're starting to see that that generation of being nostalgic is like everyone that's 21 right now or 21 to 30, like which is kind of our demographic right now, are the people that were playing games, doing couch multiplayer and doing LAN parties and connecting via the wire. So now is like all the people that are younger than 21 are starting to like they've always grown up knowing how to connect via Xbox Live, while everyone that's of the drinking age is looking for that environment to be able to hang out and game, and even if it's like hardcore like League of Legends with like a headset and computer at the esports bar, it still brings that, just having someone next to you. Like, I think it draws back to like, and I think that's why you get me and my brother still like come together and like play next to each other. It's because of something about cheesing to something and looking to someone and being super excited. Like when you're telling a story and you're super excited to tell a story, and like the story's not even that good. It's just the way you're telling it and how the person's interpreting, like how excited you look. So I think that's what like drives that esports, like that need for social interaction, but while still tending to the needs of the everyday gamer of today, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
well,
that's why,
gamer
like,
and drinker.
yeah, pretty much. So I think that's why like sports bars started in the first place, because like, you know, people couldn't buy tickets to get to like, you know, let's say Fenway or something like that. And so they'd be like, well, you know what? I don't want to just sit at home watch it on cable. You know, like, where can I go? Go to a local bar and then like have a cold beer and then sit with your buddies and watch the game on the TV. You know, like that's kind of where it started.
Some good pizza, some good wings, and yeah,
exactly. So that's the same thing with esports. You know, so.
Yeah, we also have a good question in the comments by People Arena, Andrew, and he asked if you've ever competed in an e-games like competition or anything, if you've had any success or anything like that, because I know you're a pretty big League of Legends fan, correct?
Yeah. I did play a lot of League of Legends, like.
And feel free to give any of your background, because you've been in the gaming industry. We don't have to disclose anything you don't want to, obviously, for professional sakes. Yeah, but but Arthur has worked in the gaming industry before, so he's well versed and well incorporated into the every aspect of how a game comes out.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go with Brandon's the audience question first, and then I'll answer your question, Justin. No, I haven't really competed professionally or anything like that. I am not great at games. It's just fun to me. I did remember competing in Rock Band tournament one time, like some local tournament.
Throwback, dude.
So dope, dude.
And we won, dude.
What instrument did you play?
Drums.
You gotta play drums, dude.
No way.
Yes.
I figured it'd be guitar. I mean, dude, Arthur.
No,
Arthur has always been the person to bring a guitar to a party. Why not to a competition?
I can tell you why he played drums, because everyone played Guitar Hero. Yeah. So everyone's mediocre or good at guitar. So there's a lot of people that play through the Fire and Flames, but like there's not that many people that know how to drum.
I was filler, basically.
I did
Why
the
not?
drums
You know
too.
what? I can rock it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I guess when it comes to like why I came out to LA and to start my career and everything, I worked on Infinity 2.0. I've done like everything from QA to community management to production. Started off on Infinity 2 and 2.0, and then I
Disney Infinity 2.0 for those of you
Disney
that are curious, don't know.
Yeah.
That was
and
me.
Then after that, I worked on Uncharted 4. I did the multiplayer QA for that. And then my most recent one was community management and production, working on a few mobile games like Marvel Puzzle Quest, Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest, stuff like that.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope, dude. I don't know. I was explaining to my wife today, because I had to explain what a QA was. She was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, I should tell my brother about it, because my brother-in-law is big into video games." And but yeah, I had to explain it. It's like, it's because I didn't know until you told me. It's basically playing the game and trying to find glitches. Is that not correct?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's like a quality assurance thing. Like, that's what QA stands for. But
you're making sure.
Feel free to let them know like the different codes, because I know you had you had fun categorizing everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there were like I guess priority levels or severity levels. So it's like A, B, and C. A would be like, holy shit, this just crashed the entire game, fix this ASAP. And then C would be like, oh, my arm's kind of clipping through this thing when I stand really, really close to it, and you do this, 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 and that in order to get it, that no other human being would ever do except for a QA tester. And it's like, oh, okay. So yeah, those are like, everything in between there. But yeah, QA testing is basically just finding all the issues in the game that a player may find and making sure that you call it out so it can get fixed before the game goes live.
Is it like a tedious task? Like, is it as fun as you would think? Because I feel like the dream, and especially mine at a younger age, was anything like a profession, anything to deal with video games. Was it like, can you say with confidence that like, oh, it was awesome, like it was great, or would you say it was on like the side of monotony and just like, oh, I had to do the same things over and over?
Sure. So I would say it's not all fun and games. Otherwise it wouldn't be work, I guess. But no, it is.
I couldn't do it. I'm so pissed.
No, I mean, it is a job. It can be tedious at times. You know, sometimes you're doing the same thing over and over again, just trying to reproduce a bug.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you are working on games, so it's hard not to enjoy what you're doing. And really kind of get you to think outside the box when you're working QA. I think that's the biggest thing that you need, is to be able to think outside the box, do things that most people normally wouldn't, because that's where you're gonna find the big bugs, is when, like, you know, people can fix and prevent the most common stuff, but it's the uncommon stuff. You gotta make sure it's covered too.
Yeah, you gotta think.
I'm sure.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say.
No, I was gonna say I'm sure the speed running community has kind of taken the glitch game and ran with it, pun intended, because like it seems like that's what people focus on, is to find different bugs, because that way they can be the ones that have their little viral moment with like, look at this game breaking, or look at me looking through seeing naked Samus from Metroid Prime. Like I was able to clip underneath. Like, dude, the fact that there are QA testers that test the shit out of the game to be able to see nudes of different gaming characters, because I'm sure that has some part to do with it.
Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because the model underneath is like made out. It has to be made out in order to create the textures over. So I'm sure there's plenty of people that are like creating the camera angle to like clip and then like send like some nudes of some video game characters.
Dude, look at Samus naked under her suit, man. And you know every fucking kid did that. You're literally doing QA for the immature people. Like, for example, I mean, this is have to deal with immaturity, but like hard-headed people, is that I was playing Borderlands 3. That's the game I've been into lately. And there's like a forbidden area that they're working on, but it's not finished yet. And someone like rode a rock wall with a certain vehicle at like high speed and doing like looking in a certain direction, and they were able to land behind where you're not supposed to go, and it just ended up being plain land. And it's like you're doing shit literally so people like don't fuck the game up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I actually broke the game one. I got out of bounds at one spot when I was playing the game the other day. I was like, should I be up here? I don't think I should. I walk around a bit more. No, I definitely shouldn't be up here.
You gotta think, like, there's so many people that that are inexperienced as well. So they see where they have to, what they think they have to go, and then they motivate themselves to be like, I'm gonna get up there and climb up this unclimbable rock wall.
Yeah.
And because I think I have to go there, and then you'll have the people that'll glitch through that are like, that don't understand that there's so many signals that the developers try to do to guide you down an easy path. And like there's so many like, oh, like stupid arrows or like street signs or stuff like that to create like an environment that is giving you a linear motion, while people are like, oh, like I have to go down this alley because I heard a cat rustle in the garbage, and I'm going to go there. And then all of a sudden you're stuck there for 10 minutes because you're not an avid gamer. But we have a great question from the comments, and they asked, what's the biggest thing you wish most gamers knew that you learned while doing QA?
Biggest thing. That's a good question. I guess I can approach it from a variety of perspectives. Like from a work perspective, it's definitely not just like grandma's boy where you're sitting in the basement playing video games for 24 hours straight. There is definitely a methodology to QA. But I guess there's always a reason behind everything, I guess. And I think like, especially when like games get delayed, like there are people out there that are just like, oh my God, this game got delayed because they just want more money or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like, you know,
literally
this
our
and
conversation about what is it, Valorant last week?
Oh yeah,
yeah, literally,
we literally had a big discussion on
about beta games,
the new trend of betas.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
like people just want money, but for sometimes it's literally like you want the game to be as perfect as it can be.
Big sell, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, beta's kind of like almost like a safety net, I think, in my perspective, where it's just like, okay, this is
That's
a
so
college
fucking
game.
true.
Yeah, because like if there's something that really bad that happens, you can still say, hey guys, it's in beta. Like, thank you for
That's
letting
so
us know.
true. And the games are so long in beta, dude. Fortnite is still technically in beta,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Oh.
I think if Ark Survival Evolved, like that
Yeah.
game's been in beta for what 5 years or something like that. It's absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there's.
But let's get to the nitty gritty. What people came here. We're gonna talk about topics we know nothing about, and we just go off of headlines. Brennan, I think you have some questions to ask to your dear friend.
I do. Yeah,
Arthur.
so basically, sorry, I didn't end up sharing the podcast on Facebook, so I'm illegally using my phone on the stream, which I
we're
know I'm not supposed to.
We're disconnecting. We're
yeet you out of here
disconnecting.
right now.
No, so
Yeet the host out.
no, obviously my biggest thing when we decided that you were coming on and you were interested in coming on and being wrapped up in fucking quarantine because we're doing this Zoom podcast because of the coronavirus, I was just curious. So I had like some information just to spit out for people that, you know, maybe don't watch the news, and then I kind of want to get into your perspective if that's okay.
Sure.
Currently there's like a bunch of states that are reopening. So Alaska, Colorado, Georgia, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, etc. There's a few more. And then there's 7 states that are supposed to be opening April 30th, which is in 3 days at the end of this month. And I was curious what you guys thought about
Tomorrow.
Is tomorrow the 30th?
It is tomorrow.
Gee,
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like, where are my masks? I need this.
But
What
no,
are you talking about?
I was just curious. So I saw a trending hashtag on Twitter, and it was from Elon Musk, and he said "Free America Now" because like so many people are so fucking sick of being cooped up in their house and not being able to do anything. I was curious what you guys thought, because apparently like there's an Oxford scientist that said, or a scientist from Oxford that said a vaccine could come as early as September. But even with the vaccine, like in the next couple months, like what do you guys think it's going to look like in terms of social distancing and fucking proper PPE? Or do you think people just like aren't going to give a shit? I was curious about, you know, what you guys thought about that.
Sure. I mean, there's always going to be people that do their own thing, regardless of what, you know, expert or official tell them to do is the right thing. So there's always going to be those outliers that are just like YOLO.
Yeah. For lack of a better word, YOLO.
Literally. But like when it comes to states, I think they all have their own unique atmospheres that they need to assess and determine what's right for them. Because, you know, a giant place like LA is going to have a different population number, a different environment than say like Oklahoma City, you know, something like that. And so
I think of Vermont. I think about like it's different when you're in New York, where like 100 families will touch the same door handle to get into their apartment building, as it is where Vermont they're 15 miles apart, like between each house, you know what I mean, between all the acreage in their land.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious because every time I go out, and I always say, I try to go out as
minimally.
Minimally. Thank you. As minimal as possible. Just because one, I don't fucking want to expose other people because I got to think about the grandparents and shit out there, and you know everyone just in general. But every time I go out, it's like it seems that people are taking less and less precautions ever since the plateau happened. And then now even in New Hampshire, we've seen a spike go from, 3 deaths to 0 to 6 to 7 to 5, and it kind of just doing this loop that's going up and down. And I think people are taking less precautions as it becomes more in the mundane for people, I guess.
Yeah.
It
becomes more widely accepted that we're in a better place.
Exactly.
And I think what happens is when you're comfortable, that's when issues happened. I mean, that's why we had issues at the beginning, because everyone wasn't taking it seriously. So now that people have shifted that mentality, that's what happens too. It's you can see it everywhere. I see it in Boston. I see it at the like Home Depots and different stores and stuff like that. I feel like I'm the only one that's gloved up and masked up, and I only go there for like one-stop essential goings. But or even when you're at the gas station, I Purell like everything after I touch it, because you think you touch the pump, you touch the debit card machine, like you touch everything all at once, and then you put the card back in your wallet, and now it touches everything you own. So it becomes like you become a germaphobe. That's what it becomes.
It reminds me of that gross statistic that like every day, like dude, it's so fucking gross. And I always think about this, and it's not in the reason that you might think, but it's that every day you touch up to like 10 penises by grabbing door handles and stuff like that. You heard that gross statistic? And I think about that, and then I'm like, how many times do you think you touch something that's been fucking just has coronavirus on it, COVID-19, like fucking the virus, you know what I mean? So I'm like, if I'm touching 10 dicks, how many fucking virus molecules am I touching? You know? So I mean, I've always had that in mind. I've always been a germaphobe since. Yeah,
what is the dick to virus ratio here?
Dick to virus ratio?
Yeah, please let me know, because if
anyone's doing a research project,
dicks to one corona, we don't know.
Dude.
Or for me, it's 3 coronas for one dick.
If anyone wants a fucking doctoral research project, look up the dick to virus ratio, and you'll be the only one to do it. And when you get it, credit it to Torn Between Two Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Google Spike and DTV.
DTV ratio is what we like to call it here, for short. Fuck.
But yeah, so I was curious, Arthur. I even asked Justin before the podcast, because I was like, I don't want to like push Arthur's buttons by asking.
Oh, we're pushing your buttons,
such
baby.
A question.
Oh, of course.
But I think it's important, especially at this day and age, because you're an Asian American living in America, and when the coronavirus broke out, it was
that's a little. What is it called when you're just saying too much? Like Asian American that lives in America is kind of
redundant.
It's like that Louis C.K. clip that's
you're
like
an Asian American who's an Asian in America.
10 people died in a fire due to a fire that killed 10 people in the Bronx. Like, no, but so because you're an Asian American, and I know when the coronavirus. I know when the coronavirus started, there was a big, just like racial pointing of fingers towards China. So I was curious to see if anything has affected you, if you've seen any racial profiling or people staying extra distance away from you.
We know you're not from China. But for those of you tuning in, correct. Arthur is Taiwanese. Just a clarification.
No, but just as Asian American Asian American encompasses, Japan, China, like just Asian people in the continent from Asia. But
you are so like it's so like
I'm trying to be so fucking. I'm trying to be so fucking
He's like trying to
PC.
so PC. No. Where are my lines?
Asia, continent.
I'm trying to be so PC that I'm coming out redundant because I don't want to break Arthur's sensitive little heart.
Because clearly I'm the most sensitive
Arthur
person.
has known us for like 12 years. He's not going. He's not gonna be like, Brandon.
Oh God!
Did you just say Asian American?
Right. I'm not gonna be like Twitter. Cancel this guy. Ratio the shit.
But no, I was curious to see if because I know California has a huge Asian American population over there, so I was curious to see if you saw any interactions that might have you kind of looked back on and you're like, oh, that was fucking weird, Maybe
not directly at you, but like as a general,
as a whole.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, besides the fact that I've been kind of staying in my house the entire time, so human interaction has been quite minimal.
Well, even online interactions, because I've personally, I don't know about you, but I've seen online like bullying of like that, where it's like, like people are discredited because they're like, well, your country kind of started it.
Especially
you know what I
coming
mean? Like
from
that kind of like mentality.
Especially coming from a president that quote unquote called it the Chinese virus, you know? It like just encompassed that like almost like racial profiling to coronavirus. So I was just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I personally haven't experienced anything recently, and especially, you know, if it was like connected to this situation that's going on right now. I guess one thing that I've been talking a lot with my roommates about this kind of stuff. I think a lot of people that kind of exhibit that kind of behavior aren't able to differentiate between the Chinese people and the Chinese government. And I think those are very, those are 2 points that need to be clarified. Because I do think personally, in my opinion, that the Chinese government screwed up, didn't communicate about what was going on. And it's the Chinese people that are suffering, and subsequently, obviously, everyone else, because, you know, it's spread. And so, you know, I think a lot of people are frustrated, angry, you know, hurt by this situation. And I think they just want some sort of outlet. Now, do I think this behavior is okay to exhibit? No, absolutely not. You know?
He just goes, yes. I think it's perfectly fine.
No. No, but yeah, like I can understand why they like the kind of mentality that they might have. I would just hope that they're able to eventually come to the realization that, hey, it's not, you know, the people that are behind this, like, and we can all come together we have to work together to get through this. You know, it doesn't matter what race you are. So
absolutely.
It's interesting to see how perfect of a storm it was that the Chinese New Year celebrations were happening at the same time, like when it was peaking. Well, not peaking, but growing more and more populous, like the coronavirus itself. And to see it just like spread it, and I continue to think of whatever that game is on Addicting Games, where you can literally see
Plague
like
Plague Inc.
So it's something where it's like you could see the virus spread, and you pinpoint where you want the virus to spread, and that's what it was. It was like pinpointing China, and everyone's there for Chinese New Year, and then it's spreading all over the world instantly because it's so that's the biggest thing. It would be like the virus starting in New York City during New Year's or something like that, and then seeing it take off from there because everyone will gather. But I believe Chinese New Year's would probably be much, much bigger and more populous as a whole, especially with the population of China and it being bigger than just New York City.
Oh yeah, that holiday is a huge deal in China and like Asian countries and stuff like that, because I almost want to say that, like, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it might be like a whole month-long thing, which is why, like,
something along those lines. It's not like a one-day thing like we celebrate. It's more it's a long period. It's more like Hanukkah than Christmas.
Yeah, if you're ordering anything from Amazon that either you know or don't know that is coming from like a manufacturer, don't do it during like Chinese New Year.
Oh yeah, Kat learned that.
Everything slows down.
Yeah, because she was ordering something and she I think it was like a dress or something like that, and it was like a 3-week delay because of the Chinese New Year, and she was like, "You got to be kidding me!" She's like, "I wouldn't have done it if there was any like warning or like big stamp that says, by the way, this is going to be delayed because of the Chinese New Year's." It was literally like, hey, by the way, this is getting delayed 3 weeks after she had already paid for it. And then think about getting a refund from someone in China. It's like, how? It's not, right.
Take a fucking
that money's gone.
Yeah, literally.
That processing and time delay. You're not gonna really get anywhere after a couple emails.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, true.
But I think the next question after that is there anything happening in California that you're aware about in terms of lifts of social distancing and shit like that, or in terms of like the shutdown, the lockdown?
So I know the original like kind of deadline for when social distancing may end is I think it's like May 15th or 18th or something like that. So we still got 2.5 weeks more to go. But I worried that it's going to get extended because there are some like small groups of people that are protesting lockdown and not wearing masks and just congregating all around each other. And
there's some states that have protested, and they've actually seen a spike for the first time in a while during their decline because of all the protests and social gatherings that people are doing.
Dude, it fucking
against social distancing.
It's absolutely
beautiful
crazy.
irony.
Irony is the perfect word for that. But yeah, Arthur, is there anything else that you want to?
Well, I'm sure Arthur has a topic you'd like to bring up.
I mean,
put him on the spot, baby.
Put him on the spot.
If you want a topic,
we're leading
it
the
might
discussion.
actually be kind of appropriate when it comes to crazy stuff going on in states, because my topic was, what are your birthdays and how does it apply to the Florida Man news search?
What's that? You're gonna have to.
You're gonna have that game?
Literally lay everything down for us, because me and Brennan are so secluded in our research, our Twitter news, that we probably, when we search, it shows the same exact news stories, because we have we don't drift beyond our I don't know, white male New England.
No, if I
Twitter searches.
Arthur, isn't it when you search? Is it your name or your date of birth and see what the craziest article on your birthday happened? Correct?
Yes. Basically, like you said, it's your birthday. And then you specifically type in Florida, because Florida's police records are all public. And so you can see what happened exactly on the day.
I've never heard of this.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever done it, to be honest.
Oh,
and I'd
man.
be curious. I know we can't touch your phones, but I want to know.
No, you know it's bullshit? I see Arthur right now. I see Arthur's fucking cogs turning. He literally is thinking of a loophole and goes, I won't be on my phone. I'm going to be on my computer and I'm going to Google search. And that's literally what he's doing. Because you can see,
not wrong.
I could see Arthur's hand like this, but only his
Click,
hand.
click, click, click,
So
click.
Yeah, right.
Okay, what does my arm look like it's doing right now?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's literally
Just
what I
that.
was like.
Well,
Oh,
since we have never done it, what I'm assuming yours.
Yeah, mine was Florida man arrested for catching house on fire while trying to bake cookies naked on a George Foreman grill.
What?
No!
Yo, who the fuck bakes cookies on a George Foreman grill?
Dude, low
so
key,
funny.
it's the move of the future, man. There's gonna be no
The
more
Foreman grill?
just-
He wanted grill marks on his cookies, bro. What do you mean?
Super crispy, but only in
Look at my diamond marks on my
Dude,
cookies.
how do you? I don't even understand. Do you put you must put a piece of tin foil over your grill, so that way the dough doesn't seep into the grill. You've got to put it on or
Yeah.
maybe the fucking psychopath has one of those oven plates or whatever the fuck it's called, and then puts it on the grill.
You're assuming that this person had enough logic to think about that.
I guarantee you.
to act on it.
Dude, that's the thing about when you hear these things, they're completely logical except for the one thing that they did wrong.
Yeah. They're use George Foreman grill. Check. Trying to make cookies. Check. Burn your house down. It's a possibility. You put all three together and you're like, what the fuck were you thinking, dude? Grilling
Right.
cookies, dude.
Burning your house down, no one's gonna bat an eye to that.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're grilling cookies,
100% the
Then we
dude
judge
was
you.
high.
It must have
100%
been
dude.
I can picture a world where it was oh, my George Foreman grill's broken. I can't plug it in. It's not heating up. You know what I'll do? It's basically just a pan. I'll put it on my oven and then turn the oven on and see what happens.
I didn't even think about that, dude. Taking the George Foreman grill and putting it on an external heating system.
Just melt the entire
what are you
thing.
doing?
Cause the battery.
you
to explode or
can,
something.
yeah, Arthur, you can break the rule. Feel free to look up March 29th.
March 29th?
Yeah, but it has to be your year, too, so it's 1990, right?
No, I thought it was just a day.
No, I think it's just the day.
Oh, is it just
Yeah.
a day?
Brings up every single year.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. So, how?
What's the first one?
Florida man believed he was half man, half dog during fatal attack.
Yo, no way.
Half man, half dog, here to save the day. Wait, what did he got arrested for being a half man, half dog, or what did he do?
Yeah. No,
You can't
killed
arrest
somebody.
someone because they believe they're half dog.
Okay.
His second half is dog, sir. Book him.
I'm gonna say bath salts. That's the usual.
Tail.
Dude,
He ate someone's face off. He bit someone's face. He killed them.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
he
God.
didn't get arrested for being half man, half dog. He
got
got arrested for biting someone's face.
Yeah, that sounds like Justin. That sounds like Justin. They didn't even fucking put handcuffs on him. They just put a collar around his neck and let him into the car.
Shock collar.
My
Shock
God.
collar, dude. Fucking instead of a taser.
Gee,
All right,
put him
all
in
right.
like a confined fence. Like,
Justin's was pretty good, so I want to know what mine was. April
right.
7th.
what'd you say?
April 7th.
See, it's funny when Arthur was asking birthdays. It's funny. I just totally tuned out, and I was like, "Oh God, he's going into astrology right now."
I thought he was
But
gonna...
this is much better than astrology.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the first one is so. Okay, the first one's like
boring.
compared to the one.
That's me. That's me, dude.
Yours was top
Harry
one.
Potter
Florida
arrested.
man shoveling spaghetti in mouth arrested at Olive Garden.
Dude!
That's so much better!
Bro!
That's so much better.
If you ain't shoveling the fucking cheese ravioli in your mouth with an actual shovel, don't talk to me.
A literal shovel.
That's
Oh no,
so
the next one is
fucking funny.
Thong-wearing Florida man arrested while building shed with garbage on stranger's property.
That's so
That's
dope.
not me. You wouldn't catch me in a thong outside in Florida. Too many bees. That I
I thought
like
you
the
were gonna
first
say you
one.
wouldn't catch me building a shed.
Oh no, dude! I would totally be in a thong wearing a whoa! I would totally be wearing a thong and building a shed, but it'd have to be like when bees aren't around. I think that's
or
my thing.
separate occasions.
Dude, fucking my house today was filled. Not the interior.
Animal Crossing house?
No, my fucking house, dude. I went outside and I'm like, Joanna, I'm just gonna smoke a quick butt, like hang out with me, dude. Fucking hornet chased after her, and then there was a hornet on the ground and on the side, dude. Like, what the fuck can I do to like relieve the anxiety of bees everywhere?
I mean, even the bees are on quarantine. They're real antsy too. They wanna.
Well,
Get
why
out and do
just wear a
something.
bee costume?
Dude,
They're
I need a
afraid of the color
beekeeping
yellow.
suit. Ooh,
Huh?
my wine glass just disappeared. I need a beekeeping suit.
No, if you wear yellow, they're scared of yellow.
Shut the fuck up, dude. They're gonna. I have a yellow raincoat. I will test this theory tomorrow. I'll let you know how
Do
many
it.
times I
fuck.
get stung, or a bee tries to have sex with me.
Instagram live.
Beekeeper has sex with bees.
Florida man.
Justin looks ready. He looks ready.
I'm ready.
You look
I'm ready.
pumped.
Speaking of bees,
To have sex with bees?
yeah, I'm ready for this is my transition. Bees. No, there's no transition.
Half man, half bee.
Why is this trending on Twitter?
Oh.
I hope.
Am I changing it?
Why is this
Yeah, you can
trending
change it.
on Twitter?
That's gonna be the theme. Me and Arthur here, zero. There's like a scene change and transition, and then. But,
Edit and post edit.
So, Brandon,
Yeah.
honestly, because you fucking went on Twitter, you might know why this is trending.
Probably.
But your boy, Tom DeLonge, is trending on
Oh, no,
Twitter.
I
and
didn't
do
see
you know
anything.
why? Who would like to take a guess, baby? Because if you don't know, you're gonna be stoked.
Arthur, I always have an obscure reference to make, so why don't you take reins into why is
Unless you
this trending
know,
on Twitter?
don't guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see this on Twitter.
I have no clue. I
Okay.
honestly don't.
Guess!
Yes,
Guess
anything,
anything.
Arthur.
Dude, he was in
thinking of
Blink
Florida
182.
Man.
It's so easy. Just say Blink 182 dies in a plane crash. It could be whatever you want.
Holographic Blink 182 spotted at Tomorrowland set on
You're going
Shroud.
real specific, dude.
I don't know.
You should have chilled with the
Dude,
hologram.
that was-
Hologram concert of Blink 182. Arthur
Yes.
goes, oh,
Do you
they
know what
performed at
Arthur sounded
Tomorrowland."
like? Do you know what Arthur sounded like? You know, like on your phone where like you type in a phrase and then you click the first word so it automatically tells you the next word in the sentence?
Oh, yeah.
That's what Arthur sounded like. It was like
Blink
holographic
182,
Blink
Tom
182,
DeLonge, hologram at
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland.
perform
Shroud.
set.
Scream.
All right, I'm going to say, because I still think he's part of Angels and Airwaves, I'm going to say Angels and Airwaves did a collab with someone bigger. 6'9".
Almost. So Tom
Thanks.
DeLonge
Okay.
did a collab with someone much, much bigger. Aliens. So Tom
What?
DeLonge has co-founded To the Stars Academy, and they published 3 sightings of UFOs. The Pentagon has officially released 3 movies filmed by the Navy acknowledging existence of UAPs, which, by the way, when did UFOs become the new midget where we don't say UFOs anymore? We say UAPs. By the way, do you know what UAP means instead of UFO?
Urinary aircraft pleasure.
Anal penetration. No, it's unidentified aerial phenomena.
Huh.
And that's what
Phenomenon.
UFOs are. You shouldn't be saying UFOs as UFOs. You should be saying UAPs. So
That's so
the
weird.
footage was taken by U.S. Navy fighters. So Tom DeLonge, like one of the reasons why he's not really concentrated much on music is because he co-founded this in order to push proving the existence of aliens. So there was a Navy FA-18 Super Hornet plane and this is one, there's 3 main footages and you can pull it up on Twitter. For those of you watching, feel free to look it up like on the side while still watching to us. Please subscribe. And
The plug.
so there's 3 like main videos that kind of like blew up on Twitter. And one of them is when this Super Hornet plane encountered a white oval shaped object off the coast of San Diego in 2004.
San Diego.
And there's a bunch of other videos, but what happens is these planes are flying at like 2,000 miles per hour, and these shapes are still like seen, and nobody knows what it is. And one of the things that Tom DeLonge is like kind of pushing now on Twitter, because he was trending on Twitter because everyone's like, oh, like Tom DeLonge's trending, let me go check what it is.
Yeah.
It's probably a Blink-182 tour or a live show. And then, nope, it's the Pentagon acknowledging that Tom DeLonge showed proof of fucking aliens. So one question he keeps asking people or asking his Twitter followers is he wonders why there's in every single video and most videos of alien encounters, why there's always so many military helicopters around these sightings. And he feels like there is some military involvement and knowledge of these extraterrestrials. But the Pentagon did acknowledge, and they posted like a formal acknowledgement, I guess, of all these sightings from the Navy.
Yeah, I saw that today, and I was actually looking at the video, and it didn't look like much, dude. I feel like
so weird,
I feel
dude.
like a distant cloud would have been just as fucking relevant. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is, you know? It just seemed like a little blob in the sky, possibly having movement, if not the camera was moving in a certain direction, but I don't know.
It almost seems like the camera was, like when your camera's busted and you got like a white spot on your phone or whatever, and then you're like, oh, like that's weird. And then you keep moving it and it does stuff, and then you're like, oh, that could be an alien.
But dude, Tom DeLonge's involvement doesn't fucking surprise me. He's such a weirdo, man.
Such a weirdo.
Like, dude, for a perfect example that I always mention to everyone, and possibly I've said it to you, but when he debuted with Angels and Airwaves, because he doesn't play with Blink-182 anymore, they got together, broke up, and now they have a new lead singer. But when he when he first got together with Angels and Airwaves, how they created their first album is they used to grab a bunch of pots and pans and suspend them and then drop them. The pots and pans would make noises, and that's how they would get their inspiration for their music. So, dropping pots and pans to make
Angels
music...
and Airwaves or Blink-182?
Angels and Airwaves.
Okay.
Dropping pots and pans to make music, alien involvement, same level, dude, of weirdness. Like...
Dude, it's so weird. Arthur, do you believe in aliens?
I mean, I probably are out there. Like, I can't believe that we are the smartest beings in the entire universe. Like, there's got to be
Especially
something
not
else
us.
out there,
Especially not us.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're out there somewhere. We just they're probably like, oh, let's check out this planet. Oh, there's a lot of shit going on. Pass.
Yeah, right.
Head out. It's like, let's find the next one.
I remember telling Brandon even so like a few episodes ago that like even how much space debris we have rotating in an atmosphere looks like a fucking bee's nest, and Brandon knows more than anything. Why the fuck would you go check out a bee's nest?
Dude, literally. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's not ignorant, but you're kind of naive to say there's no other life besides us. But I don't know what to the extent of alien life is, because you could technically say a bacteria growing on a Mars like surface of a rock is technically an alien, because speaking of evolution, that's how we started.
Yeah.
Started, one little bacteria, and then X amount of years, and then you get human life. So I don't think it's as portrayed as the ET fucking, I know he wasn't green, but the green alien and how they're, I don't know, dude. It doesn't seem plausible that we would pinpoint exactly what they look like, but I think there's definitely life beyond us.
What would be fascinating is, so if an alien race were to come to Earth,
yeah,
okay, and they were so advanced with their ships or whatever, and we're living on the same plane and the same dimension, the same everything, it's very possible that they would choose to disguise themselves as something we would acknowledge and register as an alien too.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, our idea of an alien has always been like that green thing.
Yeah.
So, or like that, like lanky, like big eyes, bulbous head. Like, it's very possible that they would scan and be like, oh, this is what they think of us. Let's be recognizable to them when we explore their planet. So the first alien might actually look like that bulbous, big-eyed fucking alien that we all are expecting.
Or they know that we look at them that way, and they disguise themselves as animals. Boom, dude!
Bigfoot
my dog's
is an
alien. I'm gonna grab my shotgun, go downstairs, and put it to rest, man.
Dude, did you ever hear like where like people are like, I've always heard like this fuck. When people are like, oh, I'm gonna be super smart with my little fucking like alien prediction, and they're like, you know what? If aliens came here, they probably wouldn't even talk to us. Dolphins are smarter. If they come here, they're visiting dolphins to talk to the dolphins because they're more intelligent life forms. Because it's possible that even bacteria like might have a higher sense of intelligence or whatever, and then they go like, they're like, all right, we're gonna talk to bacteria or dolphins or squirrels. Maybe squirrels are the genius of our planets.
The molecular DNA of bacteria is actually smarter than humans, so they're like, fuck this, I'm gonna go chill with the back, dude. I'll catch up with you guys later. Me and the back are going to the fucking streets. Oh, that's fucking awful.
My God.
But I think it's a good time to stop. We'll go to break. I'll give it a 3-minute counter, and then we'll get another drink, take a piss, whatever.
So for those of you still tuning in, feel free to drop some comments, and we'll read them while we're on break, and we'll bring some of those responses back if you have a good enough question. If you don't have a good question, we'll probably ignore it.
Damn.
See you guys soon.
We'll be back. We are back. Oh, Jesus, apparently I'm by myself. All right, I'm going to switch to the Be Right Back. I'm going to text the boys. Oh, no, Justin's here. I texted you. I had to go pee. You. Oh,
we're back.
We're all back, baby. I thought it was gonna be a fucking.
Wait, are we live?
Show. Yeah, we're live.
Why would you not tell us we're live? I did a tongue thing.
Huh?
I did a tongue thing. All right, for those of you tuning in, this is Torn Between Two Brothers, where we talk about what's new, what's trending, and what's new to us. And if you're tuning in right now, please like, comment, subscribe, baby. That's what we do here. We like, comment, subscribe. Tell us your funniest jokes.
Don't tell us your funniest jokes. Just try to keep it relevant, I guess. Oh, man. No, I even texted you boys. I texted the boys saying, hey, we're live.
You know I gotta pee. You know I gotta make a drink. And I was just like, you know what? I'll pee while I make a drink.
I peed, I smoked a butt, and I grabbed a drink within 3 minutes. What are you doing?
Yeah, but I'm a mixologist.
I have one question for you.
I'm a mixologist. I made my drink.
I have one question for you. How is your shit? You were gone for that long.
I peed.
How was your shit?
Okay, Brandon, when we left, me and Arthur were talking, okay? We hadn't talked in like 10 years, so we were just catching up.
Now, Justin! Welcome back to Tour Between Two Brothers,
Ready for
episode
this.
20, quarantine special, with the one, the only, long lost friend because he doesn't come visit us anymore, Arthur
It's your
Chen.
wedding, you dick!
All right.
It's your wedding 6 months ago!
Yeah, but I miss him.
I miss him too.
All right, so I am going to change things up. We are going to go to a segment that Arthur has probably seen but has definitely never played before. This one is called Not a Clue.
Yes! Arthur, you get to get your mind fucked right now, boy.
All right, so Not a Clue is basically where I find things, movies, literature, TV, mostly movies because I haven't done the latter or the two formers yet. So I'm basically going to give them a title of a movie. I'm going to give them a year. I'm going to give a description of the movie, and they have to guess whether... So the movie title is going to be true, the year is going to be true, but they have to guess whether the actual description of the movie is true or false. And so this movie...
Arthur, what are you drinking, my friend?
What am I drinking? I am drinking.
It's funny because my mom is always the person who's... My parents are always the ones like, I don't see your guys drinking.
Right? Wait. Mr. Bergeron, you'll appreciate this one.
Oh, shit.
Guns and rosé.
Yo! Rosé ale? No way! That's dope.
Fucking dope, dude. But yeah, so the title of this movie is called Black Moon. It was made in 1975. All right, you guys ready? In a dystopian world based in the Midwest, a city is governed by the moon. Specifically, the black moon, which is the backside of a full moon. When present, all laws are dismissed and the city runs havoc. Only to return to normal when the sun comes up the following day.
Just like a purge. It's like the origins of
All
the
laws
movie
are
Purge.
dismissed and the city runs havoc, only to return to normal
Okay,
when the sun
Arthur,
comes up the
I'm gonna tell
following
you right
day.
now, everyone that comes in for this fucking segment thinks Brandon isn't fucking with us, but I'm telling you right now, Brandon fucks with us. So what he does, okay, so there's a psychology to this, okay? So Brandon's either telling the truth or not. The thing is Brandon will preface how long it took to write it, what little research he did,
I didn't
how
say
he told the
anything.
truth-
I didn't say
how he told
any
the
of that.
truth in previous episodes, how he's told the lie the last 6 episodes, and he'll get in your fucking head. Regardless of his intent, he'll do it. So while we're ignoring Brandon, I was like, where's the logo?
You're like, where is he?
What is your first instinct? Because this movie came out in the 70s, so like it's very possible that it's the plot to The Purge.
I don't know.
What does this say? Come on, Arthur.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You think it's a lie?
I think it's a lie.
So ask Brandon. Vaguely tell Brandon, I think it's a lie.
Vaguely tell him? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
because he's gonna say, "Oh well, I was kind of like working on it today, and I thought about, Brandon, how long did it take you to write this one?
2 minutes.
Did you run through it today?
Yeah.
No,
I did
it took
today.
you 2 minutes. So Arthur, that tells you he either wrote it verbatim in 2 minutes.
Dude, I read 10-page
Okay,
essays in
about it.
fucking
Brandon's
2
super
hours. Let's
Dude,
be
this is what
real
I'm telling
right
you.
now.
This is what I'm telling you,
Let's be
Arthur.
real right
No,
now.
Arthur,
Okay,
Brandon,
okay.
Brandon's lazy, okay? First and foremost, okay?
Why am I lazy?
And then, so like he probably didn't do research. He probably really didn't go through his topics. He probably did it an hour before we went live. And then he needs to tell you, hey, by the way, I write 10-page papers like it's nothing, boy. What does that tell you?
No, you're saying I wrote it in 2
That
minutes.
it might be the truth because he might be a lie because but he's trying to make you think it's a lie because it's actually the truth.
Would you like to hear the description again?
No, you're fucking.
Can you tell us it without looking at the paper?
Yes.
As he looks
in
down.
a dystopian world where the moon on the backside is blue and it's a full
You know
moon.
what? You know what? Arthur, are you still on lie?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Just
You know
'cause
what? I'm
fuck
gonna
it, why
stick
not?
with lie too because okay. I'm gonna say I want to say it's a lie because it sounds so much like The Purge, but I feel like Brandon doesn't know The Purge enough, so he wouldn't have pretty much wrote it. I'm gonna say it's the truth. I feel
I'm
like
using
it's
this as a
The Purge is
control.
kind
This
of
is my control movie, just
Huh?
to see how he reacts.
What?
He said it's the
Oh,
control.
you're fucking
Isn't-
with him to see if he does anything different? You know what? I'm gonna say it's true. Arthur, are you going with lie?
I'm sticking with lie.
One of us is gonna win, so that's a good thing.
And the winner is Arthur. It's a lie.
Fuck, dude.
Okay,
Fuck, I
okay.
should have went with lie. It's bullshit.
I literally took the premise of The Purge and incorporated it with the fucking old movie title, and I knew because it was in the 70s that Justin was like, oh, well, it's possible that The Purge could have been based off of something.
Arthur, did I not say there's psychology in this fucking thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but Arthur's stuck to
Act
his
like I'm
guns,
fucking
dude.
insane, but it's the truth.
Ugh.
Speaking of psychology,
Stuck to my guns and rose. Hashtag not sponsored.
speaking of paleontology, did you guys hear about the Spinosaurus?
No.
Okay, so today was discovered the first known swimming dinosaur. So they discovered that a Spinosaurus, because they found a new fossil for the tail so this predator dinosaur is longer than a T-Rex. It's 50 feet long, and it's a 7-ton, dude. I always think about like how God. Like a lot of people have done research where they say Godzilla probably wouldn't exist because of how massive it is, that its bones would collapse underneath itself because of how big it is and how much it weighs and the mass and everything. But what happens is the tail on its back. So first it has a long dude. It's funny because I was looking up the description and I wish I could draw, like if there's any drawers in the audience, it would be so funny if someone drew the way I read the description. Okay. So it's a long ass fucking dinosaur. It's got a long sail on its back, which is like a fin, but they described it as a sail, like a boat sail. So I picture like an actual sail on like a dinosaur's back. An elongated snout like a crocodile. And they were able to put together all the fossils to make a mostly complete tail for the Spinosaurus. And what happens is it's the most extreme aquatic adaptation of a dinosaur, and the tail has the profile of an oar, like a boat oar. So what happens is over time, the dinosaur evolved because of how much water was around it and how much they were kind of prone to like fishing, like going for like fishes and stuff like that. So the tail
Hunting.
eventually became a fish tail. And it's one of the first times that we're seeing that a reptile was dinosaur was evolving to like a makeshift reptile fish animal. And it's because it needed to evolve to prey over huge fish back in the day.
Dude, is JB not Ross from Friends? Like, dude. I'm listening to this description. It's almost when I talked to Joanna about this like new book that I got, and I had this like light in my eyes. JB had a light in his eyes while he was telling that story. Yeah. Or giving the description.
Well, the question I have is, have you guys ever or were ever into dinosaurs?
Yeah. I'll let Arthur go first.
Oh yeah. Watched all the Jurassic Park movies. They were great.
That doesn't count.
Okay, I wasn't done yet. I also, all right.
That doesn't make you a dinosaur fan if you just like movies.
Yeah,
I didn't say that was it.
I'm not into Ghosts because I love the movie Scream. Like, fuck, Arthur?
Okay.
Wait, Scream wasn't even a ghost, was he?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, well, it had a ghost. His name is Ghostface. Fuck you guys.
No, yeah, like paleontology and stuff like that. I loved going to actually slightly related-ish. Did you remember the Lost River up in like northern New Hampshire?
No.
Yeah, so it's this place where you can go to. It's like a bunch of like rock formations and like caverns and stuff like that. And you could go there and buy a big bag of like dirt and sand and like rocks and stuff like that in there.
Yeah.
And you can sift through it and find like precious gems inside of it and stuff like that.
Did you find any?
I mean, nothing to write home about. But, like, if I sold it, it'd be like, okay, great, here's $10. You know, that's about it.
Do you remember?
I was gonna say it reminds me of Justin. I mean, you'll know, but if anyone's gone to Disney World, I don't know if they fucking have it still, but I think it was a Jurassic Park like little fun thing to do for kids where they gave you like a little rake, you know, like the little wooden knobs on the like those little rakes.
Like a shifter.
Yeah. And they would give you like a little sifter and like go through and you'd be able to find like the bones in the sand. Like it was probably just for kids. I barely remember it, but I do remember something along the lines of that. Justin, I don't know if you remember.
I don't think that exists, but
dude, it was. Oh my god! Listen, Ross, I got no, but dude, I remember fucking when I was young, and Mom always tells me this story because obviously our mom's from Canada. English is not our first language. She learned it when she came to the States, but I had to be like 5 or 6 or something, and Mom had asked me like, "What do you want to do for a living?" And I told her a paleontologist, and she was like,
"Oh yeah,
what the fuck is that?" She didn't say what the fuck, but she was like, "What's a paleontologist?" Because she was so like,
dude, she was mom swearing.
Mom looking at me, what the fuck's a paleontologist? Nah, but I remember saying that to her, and I think that's like where my love of like the English language came, because I was always good with words, so to speak. Like in terms of like saying, "Oh, a paleontologist," and I have like the correct diction and all that, and Mom had no idea what it was.
Because you liked big words. Now you're an English major.
Yeah, that's exact. That and Mr. Feeney. If that's not why I'm an English major, like
I think the few. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people can relate, but like I think I was a big fan of Land Before Time.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a movie that I always forget about, but is like fucking definitely
because it's gross, dude. All I can think about is like how like poorly, like you think of Bambi and like the old animators and stuff like that, and I feel like Land Before Time was like that same like era and timeline.
Have they recreated Land Before Time?
I don't believe so, but they had a lot of like spin-offs and like sequels that like I haven't watched any of them, so I don't know when that stopped.
That's something that I would be so interested in if they re-released Land Before Time.
With fucking live action.
Yeah.
And Childish Gambino is the main character.
Dude, literally though, right? Fuck.
What, do you guys have a favorite dinosaur? I wrote it as a question, okay? I wrote it as a note because I thought it would be a stupid question to see if you guys even have a favorite dinosaur. Like we're 30 and we're gonna talk about our favorite dinosaurs.
Wait, from Land Before Time or just in general?
No, in general. Like,
what's your favorite character from Land Before Time, Arthur?
Legit.
Character from an obscure movie
Give
from 30
it
years ago.
species and its name, and we'll consider it a valid response.
I guess if it's like if it's not from like Land Before Time,
it's not from Land Before Time.
I don't know. I don't really think I have. Maybe Triceratops.
Distraught that I didn't like. That wasn't the question.
Yeah, a piece of me died because you wouldn't. No, yeah, Triceratops.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's actually pretty lit.
I don't want to be a fucking.
Babies, but
I don't want to be a scrub and say a T-Rex because that's so like the fucking mundane. You go, "What's your favorite dinosaur?" And people are like, "Oh, T-Rex, obviously the biggest one you can find."
Yeah, but you don't want to be the dude that does the super obscure like Stegosaurus. And you don't know that one?
A Stegosaurus. I think that was my favorite one when I was a kid. Was a Stegosaurus. Yeah. But I would say,
is that the one with the horns along the?
I think it's either a Stegosaurus or a Spinosaurus. The one with the sail, the boat sail across its back.
Oh, I just said it was a Spinosaurus.
Oh, did you say that was a Spinosaurus? Yeah. That's probably what I'm
thinking
of.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what?
The one that they found out was a swimming.
You know what? Fuck dinosaur. You. My favorite dinosaur is a T-Rex now. Just because. Just because you pissed me off.
T-Rex.
I don't know why, but like. They're kind of lame, but like the pterodactyls are low-key fire.
Oh, pterodactyls are fucking low-key fire. I would definitely agree.
Yeah.
Like I think I don't I feel okay. This is my mentality on the pterodactyl being my favorite. I don't think it's my favorite, but I don't know enough about dinosaurs. So like a pterodactyl is probably a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. But there's definitely a 10 out of 10 that I don't know like the name of or like what it looks like. But I know I'll look at it and be like, oh shit, this is fire.
Yeah. I think that probably stems from Pokemon.
Triceratops is like...
What?
Triceratops is low-key fire.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly, if you didn't say it, do you know how much I totally forgot what like dinosaurs exist? Like because like think about how far back into your brain you're thinking about like dinosaurs because it's like kindergarten.
Yeah.
So like
like when you use that info ever.
I know T-Rex, pterodactyls, and stegosaurus, and that's it. Like that's all I know. And then like Triceratops just blew my mind because I totally forgot that was a thing.
Yo, what
about
if
Brachiosaurus or Brontosaurus? Yeah.
The plant eater, yeah, that's fucking. I don't want the fucking vegan version of a dinosaur.
Dude, what if I was just thinking of like hypothetically if we brought on a guest and we go, "Oh, what's your favorite dinosaur?" and they go, "Oh, I don't believe in evolution, but my favorite religious character is Adam," or something like that, dude. Like I don't know why that just came to mind, but I'm like, dude, that's so funny. Like
Noah was my favorite one. You know,
I
like when he built that boat.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. Do you know I've always found to be the most fire Darwinism versus religion like splashback?
Always Sunny in Philadelphia logic
is the Jesus fish, and then they put Darwinism or Darwin, and they put like fucking legs on the fish. Fire, dude. That's the biggest fucking slap your dick Darwinism move, dude.
Slap your dick Darwinism, dude.
Dude, it's just like, how about this, Jesus fish?
Oh man.
How about this, Jesus fish? Fucking.
Yeah, you gonna bust out a rap now?
Since Arthur's here, and I think you have probably the same topic.
Did you just throw all your cards out?
That's me throwing my cards, knowing what he's gonna ask you.
Well, I'm curious if it's the same thing. So, Arthur, you used to work for Naughty Dog. Who is the creator of Last of Us.
So, Arthur, are you disclaiming? Are you telling us not to put ex Naughty Dog's employee reacts?
I can already
to
picture the
spoilers
headline.
Dude, that'd be nasty. Oh my god, someone clip that, bro. Clip that.
Neil Druckmann sends me like a cease and desist letter or something.
That's an Uncharted poster in your background, right?
It is right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually signed by a bunch of my coworkers when I was there.
Oh, no way, huh? That's fucking dope.
Actually, right there is a bunch of stuff too. Like it's like all my
Naughty Dog memorabilia.
Holy crap. Okay. Like all the stuff that like I got from the company. Like this is a The Last of Us vinyl of the soundtrack.
This
is like
fire.
all the books, and that's also signed by a bunch of people, like all the artists and stuff like that.
Oh fuck.
And then I've got like a bunch of other stuff sitting there. Like that's a magazine that I think Nolan wrote or something.
And that's my Sports Illustrated magazine right there.
And that's the lubricant I use to masturbate with when I'm feeling alone. And this is the tissue box.
Yeah,
right.
That's not actually a pillow. It's a tissue dispenser.
This is my vibrating bed here for.
This pillow is turned around so you can't see my waifu on the backside. It's actually an Overwatch character I fascinate.
It's Diva, isn't it? We all know it's Diva.
Cribs.
We all know your waifu is Diva.
So, Brennan, feel free to tell people what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. So, we're bringing this topic up to speed because Justin wrote it and I wrote it, and we knew that we were going to have the same topic, possibly. But, so you work for Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog had released The Last of Us, which, in my terms, I would say is probably one of the top 5 best games I've ever played in my entire life. Nice. But apparently The Last of Us 2, there were leaks online. I didn't fucking look at it because I actually want to play the game. But people are mad because all the delays for The Last of Us 2, and I know we talked about delays at the beginning of the podcast. But yeah, people are pissed because of the delays. Some people looked it up, apparently. I saw a bunch of tweets where people had looked it up because they said, you know what? You've delayed the game so many times. I've been waiting for this game forever. I'm just going to leak it for myself, not buy your game, and say, I don't give a shit. I know what happens at the end of Last of Us 2. So I don't know if you've been exposed to the leak yourself or if you looked at anything. Or if you have any insight working for Naughty Dog, I don't know how much you were involved within. I mean,
well, I'm sure he has plenty of NDAs that really can't answer some of those questions, Brandon.
Right.
True.
Well, I wasn't really involved with Last of Us 2.
And
they
that
probably were working on it already, like when I was there, just because they, every studio plans.
Yo, quick question: was there any code names for games that you're allowed to disclose?
There are code names. I don't know if I can disclose.
Okay, that's fine. Because what happens a lot of times when games are in production,
so.
they call it something else, so that way it's always described. It's just like Scorpio for like the Xbox and stuff like that was used to kind of talk about the new generation of the system and everything. But,
yeah. So yeah.
But do you know what was leaked, Brendan?
I didn't want to know, dude. That's
okay, so I'll let you know without. This is spoiler free for those of you tuning in. So there were major plot points and visuals leaked by disgruntled Naughty Dog employees, and they say it's because of the treatment of the actual employees, where they were pissed and leaked it. I don't know how much that's to be true, but that's what has been disclosed in every news article that you look into. So it's cutscenes have been leaked, level lists, and the full plot. And like you said before, there was a major delay because of the COVID-19, which is interesting because I'm surprised people weren't more hype and giving it more respect because honestly, there's actually an HBO special that's supposed to, like a TV series that's supposed to be out soon about The Last of Us. And I'm actually very curious to see if Ellie is going to be played by Ellen Page, but I doubt it.
That would be so fucking nasty. I know it's like a huge history with that, but that would be so fucking cool because the character is literally based off Ellen Page. Ellen Page. Was that
yes, but no.
What do you
they
mean?
They modeled it after her, but technically it's supposed to be someone else. But
correct.
Like I think the originals were Ellen Page, and they never really shifted it. And then they got in like huge troubles for using her likeliness. And it's funny because you listen to the voice, and most girl voices are similar, I guess. Yeah. So like a lot of people thought it was Ellen Page playing it, but she actually coincidentally was doing voice acting for another game where her somewhat likeliness was being used, so the people kind of grouped them together, and I think that's why she kind of caught wind, especially with The Last of Us being such a big title.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything that you've heard spoiler free, because I want the game to be as spoiler free as possible, because I mean, even if the game sucks, I'm still gonna love it.
Yeah, but they said some people are disappointed by what was leaked.
Yeah.
But the thing is if you look at something just written out, it's very easy to see it be like
it's very easy
you're
to
gonna be like, oh, that's dumb or whatever. But like it's everything orchestrated together, the visuals, the sounds, and the storytelling is what brings this story to life. Because even the Last of Us original one, like the gameplay was is not as action packed as other games, but it's the storytelling that brings it to life.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I haven't gone out of my way to I don't want to look at any spoilers. I've seen someone turned a cinematic into like a 5 or 10 second clip, like a GIF. That I saw on Twitter. So I saw a brief snippet of it before I quickly scrolled away. But no, I haven't really seen anything else besides that.
I hate people that spoil shit, dude.
It's so aggravating.
I still have not watched Avengers because I'm so pissed that the Iron Man plot, the ending with Iron Man got ruined for me, and I got fucking Wolverine ruined for me.
That Logan format, ruined for me, dude. The meme format of the fucking, it's like car spoilers, and it says it's like, oh, the best type of spoilers, and it's like 1, 2, 3 car spoilers, and then the last one is like a spoiler of something big that's gonna happen. Yeah. Worst meme format of all time, because I hate when shit like that happens, dude.
But I watched Logan. I was upset that I knew the ending because it was such a fucking good movie. It was such a good movie, dude.
Like the first rated R Wolverine movie, right? Or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Because I think the rest were PG-13 to just be accessible by everyone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I guess my follow-up question is what's problematic about, because I was focused on just the aspect of game delays. I know this one's specific to coronavirus as to a lot of other things. But what's problematic about game delays for overhyped games like this? Do you think it entices people more to want to buy it? Do you
Like,
think it
adds the hype?
discourages people? Exactly. Is it like overrated, underrated? What do you guys think about it?
And you can even take Final Fantasy VII for example, because
The
that
remastered?
remake I feel like got like took fucking forever, and everyone was
Sure,
looking
yeah.
forward to it. And then I think the hype almost died out a little bit because like they announced it way too early. But the same mention, like that thing was trending for fucking ever because people were excited about every little glimpse. Of
Yeah,
the new
well, look at
Final
fucking Diablo 4. They already, said they're
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
releasing, and
Yeah,
Overwatch
so for the next
2.
2 years, you're going to be hyping it up in your head, and it's going to fuck with your expectations.
Yeah, the new Elder Scrolls. These are games that I've been waiting for fucking ever, and they take like Diablo for specifics takes about 10 years to. Well, I mean, I know they're doing other things because Overwatch and Diablo are part of the same company, which is Blizzard. But Diablo is always a game I'm looking forward to, and takes about 10 years to release.
Yeah, it's like announcing too early, I think, is definitely an issue. Like having been a community manager, like you definitely want to be able to find that nice balance of like, okay, announce it early enough so that way it gets people, if you're a software as a service game, like a free to play kind of game, then you definitely want to get people back into the game with that hype and stick around until that thing is launched. And if you do that too early, then you'll bring people in and then they'll just kind of drop off again, and then the people that are still waiting are upset. You do it too close to the release, then maybe not enough people know about it or have had time to hear
it doesn't build the momentum. Yeah,
True.
Right. So you definitely want to find that early sweet spot, or not early sweet spot, but like the sweet spot in general, where you want to announce things. When it comes to delays, I don't think anyone really wants to delay things necessarily, unless of course it's putting like not delaying it would put way too much stress on the employees, and things would just slip through the cracks and stuff like that. Because if you think of it from like a business perspective, delaying a game means you're also delaying any sort of return on investment. So that means, like no investor would want that to happen. So it definitely has to be for a good reason.
Yeah.
And I know that, having worked there, Naughty Dog does work on a very tight deadline. And they also know that like they want everything to look as perfect as possible, because that's kind of what they're known for. They have their great storyline, their beautiful cinematics, the environment art, the character art, everything, is gorgeous because you've got all these amazing, talented people working so hard to make it look great for all the players that enjoy the game. And so if the reason for delaying it is to make sure that these people aren't feeling burnt out and are able to pace themselves enough to get what they need done, then I think that's a good thing, because it means at the end of the day, it's going to be a higher quality. Your employees aren't going to be stressed out. And on that front, like it is tough for players to say, man, I have to wait 6 more months now for the game that I was expecting next month. Like, God, that sucks. And I get that. I totally do. Like I'm on the other side of the fence now where it's just like, I don't have access to the game. I don't play it on the daily QA testing it. So I'm looking forward to it too.
But sometimes that hype you get burnt out. I mean, like you keep refreshing, looking for news, and then you're like, fuck, is it even worth it? And then when it comes out, you're like, whatever. Like I was excited for it 6 months ago. If it would have dropped, I would have put endless amount of hours. And now that it's dropped, I'm kind of over it because I've been mentally hyping pumping myself out for so long. Is there a game you feel you're burnt out on at all? Like that your anticipation has been kind of overhyping it, and then you're just like, I'm not it's taking too long now.
Not really. I don't really if it's too far out in advance, then I just kind of wait for whenever I hear more news about it. I don't really try to dwell on it too much.
I'm a dweller. I'm 100% a dweller.
Oh, okay. Like Cyberpunk, dude. Like, I'm sure a bunch of us are like, when is it coming out?
Yeah.
Keanu, what?
Yeah, I know.
But like at the same time, it's like, if it's as hype and as great as it's gonna be, like that's gonna take time to develop too. And so you don't want to rush greatness. And so, like,
that's true. I feel like us as like the gaming community, we need to hold a sense of patience and understanding that the people at these companies are working incredibly hard. Again, for me, like Diablo 4 is has been in my mind since I completed the campaign for Diablo 3. I was like, oh my god, Googling when's it going to come out, knowing that I'm disappointing myself because it's going to be 10 years in advance. If Diablo 3 came out, I don't know, I think Justin got it for me for my 18th birthday. By the time I'm 28, which is maybe 2 years, maybe it might come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we as gamers need to have a little bit of understanding. Like you said, you can't rush greatness, and that has to deal with anything, whether you're waiting on a TV series to come out, a movie series. I think that was very well said.
And it's funny that Arthur mentions Cyberpunk because I have a transition for a new topic. Cyberpunk. So I'm gonna give you guys free range. Okay, the two of you discuss. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let you both propose a good scenario, and I'm gonna pick it. So right now, there's a list of 9 characters that I have in front of me, okay? And I want you, before knowing any of the characters, you guys have to pick a scenario where you're going to have to pick 3 of these people to help you out during this scenario, whether it's an alien invasion or a basketball game against the primetime Chicago Bulls. It's whatever you guys want. So I'm going to give you guys like a couple seconds right now while I'm rambling and ranting to think of a scenario of where you're going to you plus 3 other people. And like I said, it could be whatever. It could be you and 3 Fortnite partners or whatever you want. And you just create, it could be an infinite amount of scenarios can be generating in your head. And I'm going to give you each a chance to give one. And I'll pick which one I like a little bit better. And then I'll tell you what game you guys are playing. So I'm gonna go. I'll go. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna go with you because you're a little bit more veteran to this podcast game.
I guess my thing, because going to be an English teacher, is that I have 3 people that I need to do a presentation with, and who would be more helpful in that presentation, and who would let me down. Okay,
that's a good one.
Okay.
All right, Arthur, you got a big battle to go against.
My scenario, I was thinking of, that ending scene in Men in Black where the aliens are playing marbles with the universes.
Kind of. Jesus Christ, it's
That's a fucking far-ass reference, man.
That's a fucking throwback, dude.
So my scenario is that I'm one of the players, and then you've got another person that's the opponent, and then I've got each person has their coaches to coach them in the game.
Okay, so you're playing marbles against an alien, marbles of planets, and you got 3 people coaching you?
3 people total, so it's like two coaches, 2 players.
You know what?
He's the guest, dude. Go with him.
Okay, sorry, Arthur. I'm gonna go with yours, but I was gonna pick Brendan's because I love that I gave you guys an opportunity to pick anything in the universe, and you went with anything in the universe, and Brendan did a fucking skull presentation out of everything. It would be like, who would I take out to fucking a breakfast date with? And like that's really like how I.
You know what? You haven't been in college lately, man. You haven't had to work with people on a school fucking presentation. I have.
So we're going with Arthur's?
Yeah, go with Arthur's.
All right, so this is what I like to call the Canadian draft, where it was trending on Twitter, where the BC Lions, I don't know where they're from, probably British Columbia or some shit.
That's exactly where they're from.
Ask people, pick 3 people that you would like to draft on your team out of these 9 Canadians. So I learned how many famous Canadians we really have.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is going to place them in Arthur's scenario. So the 9, try to think. Okay, so Arthur said you're playing a game of marbles with planets, and it's a 1v1 with coaches, okay? So who's your coach and who's the opponent? Oh, wait, are we choosing who's the worst opponent? Because that
wait,
is it an opponent you'd love to play against?
Is he picking anyone he wants?
No, it's out of the 9 people I'm getting.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, so these are the 9 people you got to play. Are we making Arthur pick the worst opponents he should have?
I think we should pick the opponent, and he can pick his coach.
Or we should do 4. we pick his opponent, he has to pick his team.
That's theoretically exactly what I just said.
Yeah, but like he has to pick 2 versus our 2.
Yeah. No, I got you. Okay. Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
But we have to do a draft and we'll pick first. Okay.
Okay.
Shania Twain, The Weeknd, Keanu Reeves, Brendan Fraser, Pamela Anderson, Ryan Reynolds, Nickelback, Seth
The entire
Rogen,
band?
The entire band, Seth Rogen, Rachel McAdams.
Okay.
So, Brennan, who would
Yeah.
you like to place against Arthur Chen?
Against
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, hands
Yeah,
down.
hands down. There's no way,
okay.
dude.
It was either Keanu Reeves or
Yeah.
I don't even fucking remember the list. There was
Pamela
another.
Anderson to
Nah.
distract Arthur.
Yeah, right.
Making me fight
she's old
against-
now, man. He's got
my-
he's got his girlfriend. We're good to go, man. Like Keanu Reeves.
Eve, turn around.
Gave me the hardest opponent. Fuck. All right, so I'm picking who my coach is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, there's no way I'm winning against Neo, and
No way, dude.
he's literally immortal.
See,
so
I have 3
if I'm going
ideas
down,
of who your coach is going to be because Seth Rogen would be a good coach. Nickelback, the entire band would be a good coach because they could play. Look at
no man,
this.
I am
Marvel.
picking Ryan Reynolds because if
Okay.
I'm going down, I want to go down hilariously in a ball of flames.
I definitely feel that.
I think Ryan Reynolds would have the best improv against aliens.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And then Coach Brennan,
Oh, I'm picking his coach now.
his opponent's coach. Who do you think would cheer on Keanu Reeves the most?
I feel like Seth Rogen would just have a fucking hell of a time working with Keanu Reeves and just getting stoned beyond belief and giving like wise words of the high that don't seem like they would work, but they end up working at the end to save Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Wait, so real quick, Brennan, just to
Yeah.
kind of spin it on its head.
Yeah.
2 people that would help you out in the presentation, 1 person that would let you down.
Can you go quickly through?
Shania Twain, The
Yeah.
Weeknd, Keanu Reeves, Brendan Fraser, Pamela Anderson, Ryan Reynolds, Nickelback, Seth Rogen, Rachel McAdams.
Dude, fucking The Weeknd would let me down so hard. I fucking hate that dude, man. I really fucking do. And if Selena can dump him, I can dump him off my presentation.
Yeah.
2 people I'd want me to help me, dude. Rachel McAdams, because she seems like thoughtful and like just like an eccentric view on the world. And then the second would be fucking Keanu Reeves, because who doesn't want Keanu Reeves on their
Literally
team?
Everyone said
Infinite
Keanu
knowledge.
Reeves on Twitter. Like, there's no other solution.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for Keanu Reeves on Hot Ones because people have been fucking begging for him since day 1, and they're like, "We want Keanu on this."
Oh, I'm fucking
Keanu
sure,
Reeves.
dude.
Keanu Reeves was on a weird, and not to ask you, Arthur, because I don't want to. It was an Asian question. There's
It was an Asian American in America question.
yeah.
As an Asian.
It's I figured it out. The Always Be My Maybe. Have you seen that movie on Netflix?
Always,
So
wait, I
it's
have.
two,
Yeah.
It's 2 Asian American comedians.
Yeah, it's
and the
yeah.
Ali Wong?
girl ends up dating
Yes.
Keanu Reeves like halfway through, and it's
Yeah.
the funniest fucking thing that
Yeah.
out of all fucking things, dude. Like the Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 get delayed like till the same day, but
Right.
he's out here doing fucking
Fucking
Asian
cameo
rom-coms.
rom-coms,
so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. With
It's
Tiger.
Netflix
Tiger
rom-coms, straight to DVD
Yeah.
rom-coms, dude. It's so weird.
That's fucking dope.
Real quick, I think we should pass it off to Arthur because Arthur does indeed have some topics.
Oh yeah. So that one's funny. You want a funny one or do you want like a serious one first?
I want a serious one.
Serious one.
I
All
was
right.
gonna say funny, but sure, whatever. Sorry.
Do a funny serious one, or a seriously funny one.
Embed the 2 and make it one top. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So online grapes and no. I'm just kidding. All right. So I'll go serious and then I'll go funny. End on a high note.
All right.
Yo, it pisses me off that
Rant of the day! Rant of the day, baby!
baby.
you know how like during the last election there was like bought like Cambridge Analytica, like collected all the
Yeah,
information, stuff like that
with
to influence
Facebook and
election.
everything.
Why do people not realize that's happening now? Like, look at all the quizzes and all the stuff, and like for instance, I saw on Facebook someone was like, "Yo, like, say the name of that one teacher who always had your back in high school." I'm like, that's a security question.
Oh,
I saw that, dude.
I saw you post something and said, like, why don't people realize, it was on Facebook, and you posted, why don't people realize, like, these are the answers to your security questions, and a fucking just mind blown. I never even thought, like, of the possibility of that happening, dude.
Right.
Like, just being like, oh, what's your favorite pet's name? And there's literally, oh, what's your mom's
name is your street combined with your pet's. It's like, what?
What's, like, if your mom's
Before your
maiden
mother
name
was married, what was her name?
And we're gonna describe how it describes you.
Is there a 10-digit number that you have randomly memorized?
Dude,
I know, that's so fucking true, dude. I think you posted it or someone else posted it on my timeline. It was so funny to see, like, because you have the ones that are posed so perfectly as, hey, like, ask your boyfriend his first fucking response or whatever. And then it's like 40 questions. And then like, but like a lot of those are orchestrated to be like, because what happens is you can Facebook search that quiz name or the quiz's first question and see the last 100 people that have posted answer to those, retrieve all those answers and just fucking steal identities or bank accounts.
Well, it's all public information on Facebook too. I mean, very little
unless you make
it
private, but the same, but in the same note, like it could be one of your friends.
Yeah,
that's
and they
true.
all connect your Facebook account. That's how you like get the results of your quiz or whatever, is to connect your account and download that way. It's like, that's how they get your login info and stuff like that, right? Like,
what's your favorite pet's name?
Oh well, it's fuck you.
It's so true, dude. I think about that all the time. I always get nervous about like saying shit, like, because I don't want to bash anyone this applies to, like, in our chat, but like the thing that drives me wild is people that post like a bunch of stuff about their kid. And then I just think about, like, the thing is there's so many people that you've befriended over the years, and you got to think about us where we grew into Facebook from the MySpace age. So there's a lot of people you just befriended because you knew them in high school, because there was an era where like a grand majority of my Facebook friends are just because everyone that had a Facebook became friends with everyone that had a Facebook in high school. So like there was you didn't need to necessarily know them. Just the fact that it says went to Pinkerton Academy or went to whatever high school, you're most likely friends with them. So, and a lot of those people grow up to be murderers, drug dealers, pedophiles, and like, no, I'm serious. Well,
I get you in theory. I get you in theory.
But like, I mean, like like those people are normal people too, or like people you grew up with without like they weren't fucking murdering people in your high school. Like, they ended up being murderers. Like, take, for example, like
Carlos.
5 episodes ago where I had a story time about the fucking kid who murdered his fucking ex-girlfriend, and we were boys with him, and he came over to my house. You don't even think about shit like that. So, like, there's people that are pedophiles that have been that close to you, too. And then you're going around posting pictures of your kid and, like, oh, bath time with little Jimmy. And it's like, dude, you're literally, and like these are all public posts. So all these posts that you're posting to Instagram or Facebook or wherever are public knowledge now. And then you have, and then we talked about it before, where there was this woman that was posting her kid crying from being bullied. And it's like, now whenever you search that kid's name, that video is going to show up of him crying and like pledging to commit suicide. And it's like, dude, like your kids, like when you make a Facebook,
it's like, are you spreading awareness or are you branding your child for life? Kind of like walking between that fine line. And
it's like, all right, you do realize like your kid doesn't have the mental capacity to realize what a terms and conditions are and what you're agreeing to when you're posting on Facebook and making an account. So when you're posting for them at 3 years old, 4 years old, when they're, I get it. But like back then, it's because what happens is now we're building digital Facebooks instead of building physical photo albums or whatever to show people. So now we're posting online, but now it's easily accessible to anyone. So I like that shit. I like to just compound off of your like the quizzes and stuff like that. The baby pictures and child pictures that baffles me as much as like disclosing your personal data to everyone to see on everywhere in the world, in the world.
Oh yeah, totally. And like on a even less malicious like perspective, like even if say it's not a security question, like that's still data that you're providing a company, and they're definitely going to take that data and just sell it.
Oh, absolutely.
They're making bank off of stuff you're giving away for free. So.
Dude, it's a scary fucking world out there when you think. I saw because TikTok has to make its way into at least every one of our podcasts.
Every episode.
But I saw a TikTok. It's somewhat relevant to your topic of saying that like when you say something around your phone and it. Because you've agreed to X amount of terms and you've agreed for them to have access to your camera or microphone or whatever it is, and then you talk about something, and then you look at your phone, and miraculously there's an ad for whatever you were talking about. And that happens so often, and it's just like, there's so many forms of this type of, like, to put in the comments, like people that are data illiterate that don't know what they're doing when they're doing it. It's absolutely... I don't even want to say crazy. It's not crazy. It's something that like people should be aware about and like kind of.
It's funny because it's so stupid. When you overthink things that are so obvious. So it's like, are they reaping like your like the access to your microphone, or is it the fact that you've already looked up that product or similar products? So and you're talking about it, and then you're talking to people in your household that are searching things because sometimes they provide advertisements for things that are popular in your vicinity or in your state, in your city, in your exact neighborhood. So if you're talking about going on vacation, you've gone on vacation so many times, and maybe you talk about a different vacation and they provide that. Because I've also heard there's something about what happens is when we're scrolling through like Instagram or Facebook, you miss 20-30 like ads already because you're so prone to ignoring it that the ones that poke out to you are the ones that you've been thinking about, but you might have missed something else you were thinking. If they say you're thinking about mac and cheese, but you're so prone to ignoring every single like advertisement that goes to you that the one you're grown to, but then it's like, am I overthinking it? That really is just because people are spying on us, and that's why the ads are to us? Or is it because we're randomly paying attention to the one out of 200 ads that are presented to us that happen to be something you talked about, that happen to be something you already researched last week about?
Yeah, it's a valid point. It could be either or. I'm not dismissing my point, but I'm not dismissing.
And your boys hit 150 subs.
Let's go, dude.
Ding, 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 ding. Dude, if you're watching this podcast, feel free to subscribe.
So I have one more topic for you guys. Unless, Arthur, do you want to go into the funny? Do you want to go into the funny and then we'll end there?
Oh, that was the funny. You want him to do the serious topic?
No, that was okay. Yeah.
We can end on your topic because I could talk about it fucking next week, but you won't be here next week unless you'll be in the comments. So,
dude, we can last longer. The guest episodes always last longer. We can.
But it doesn't matter because your boy has a fucking tiny bladder and I have to pee for the last fucking 20 minutes. So I've been chilling,
dude.
All right. Here's the funny one. So, you know how there's like cotton candy flavored grapes?
Yeah.
So, if you could put a candy and a fruit together, what would be your combination?
That's not chocolate.
Oh yeah, not chocolate.
Okay.
Not chocolate.
Okay, because that's the thing. I feel like a lot of candy questions come up, and then I'm like, well, chocolate like kind of almost supersedes a lot of those questions where you're like, oh, it's just chocolate and apples or chocolates and oranges.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Oh man, I feel like
I don't know.
My favorite
what?
taste is like a sour green apple. Like, the Jolly Ranchers. I'm thinking of Jolly Rancher flavors like blue raspberry and green apple, but I'm wondering like what that could mix well with to the point where I would eat it enough where they would keep it on the shelves. And I wasn't the only person to ever want to get a green apple or blue raspberry flavored something.
You know what? I would get a cherry flavored something mixed with cherries because I don't like the taste of cherries, but I do like the flavor of cherry flavored objects.
You're a grenadine fiend.
Candies.
You're a grenadine fucking fiend. Dude,
Yeah, because I like
know.
cherry like Starburst or Jolly Ranchers or whatever, but like the taste of like cherries just bother me. So I would love to have like a cherry coated cherry, I guess. It's stupid, but like I don't know.
Okay.
Arthur,
I would
what's
definitely
yours?
go with dude, I love Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids are dope.
And I also love pineapple. So I kind of want to see what that combined is.
That is low-key fire, dude. You're a piece of shit.
Wait.
Arthur
I have a
literally
question.
asked the question knowing what he was going to say to us. He didn't improv that at all. He's like,
will the pineapple have like the sugar, like tanginess?
Texture?
Like, would it be sugar coated like a
texture. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess so.
Like,
Or
would it
maybe
have the texture of a watermelon or a pineapple or the flavor of the texture of a pineapple or texture of a Sour Patch Kid? Like when you bite into it.
That's a good question. Because I mean, if we're going with like the cotton candy grape format, then it would just have the texture of the fruit.
True.
But I'm curious what that would be like if it was
or you get pineapple bits and you dip it in sugar and then you eat it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you know what mine would be? And I think it's out there, but I would want it my way to be out there, is maple syrup flavored coffee. But like the true, like I tap a tree, get the maple syrup, sweeten
You know what's
it in my
crazy
black
about
coffee.
both of those things?
What?
Is neither of them are fruit.
Nor candy.
Wait.
You know what I would like? Gasoline in a car, because those two things seem fucking weird together.
I was thinking of flavors and something like a combination of it. Dude, I don't fucking know. I want to fucking...
You take a candy and you take a fruit. What's your favorite candy right now that isn't chocolate?
That
We're gonna
isn't
force
chocolate.
feed
I
this down
already
your
said
throat.
it would be like a Jolly Rancher. Like a
Jolly Rancher,
Okay,
and then what's your
okay.
favorite fruit?
I don't fucking have a favorite. All right, you ready? Blue raspberry flavored bananas.
Gross. Why don't you go with like blueberries or raspberries?
Nope. Said what I said.
Would it look blue too?
Yes.
Would you have to? Would you
A
bite
blue
into it
banana.
or would you suck it?
You'd pop it like those.
Because if you
jelly.
peel the banana,
Yeah.
it's either you suck on it like a Jolly Rancher, or you bite into it and it tastes like a Jolly
Dude,
Rancher.
that would just take forever to eat if you were sucking
know.
on a
That's why I'm
banana-sized
asking.
Jolly. You'd eat it.
And it would look like S&D for a long extended period.
Oh yeah, dude. That just
blue
adds
It would
on
be
the,
like
that.
That
it would
just
be
adds
like
on the
a sucking
fun.
dick motion for a gobstop or what are the
Jawbreakers. Jawbreakers.
Jawbreakers.
What?
Like that's
Jawbreaker.
how long it would take.
You know what? Fuck it. Sure. I don't care. As long as I got
My
my blue
God.
raspberry flavored banana, my coffee fucking maple syrup flavored
This is why
coffee, I'm
aliens
happy.
won't visit us.
This is why they're talking to bacteria rather than us.
They're talking to dolphins right now. All right, Brennan, drop the last topic. I had one more topic, but it doesn't matter.
All right. So I'm going to give a quote, and I'm going to see if you guys know it, and then I'm going to talk about it. You put someone like Kendrick Lamar next to me on the same stage at a festival, I might outshine him. Not because I'm a better rapper or whatever it is. It's just because I got more hits.
Kanye.
Wait, I feel like I've heard this before.
I've heard this before too, and I don't think it's Kanye, but I'm gonna say it's Kanye. I think it's someone that's on the same level as Kendrick or a little bit below, and then he's just
Below.
overstanding his ground.
Below.
I'm gonna say Eminem.
I said
No,
below, you
it's not Eminem.
motherfucker.
Eminem's not that cocky.
Oh,
It's
I didn't
someone
say
like Travis
below.
Scott
Oh,
or something
I
like
see.
that. It's someone like slightly below Kendrick Lamar, like a.
French Montana.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see the French Montana, dude. Fuck
What?
French
Dude,
Montana.
so
French Montana is fucking loaded right now, dude. If French Montana thinks, granted, a lot of people went through back through his like resume of hits, and they're like, oh yeah, he does have a lot of hits. but French Montana's
Dude, garbage. He's
Dude, if you name yourself after a state, you're incorrect. That's why Chris Nevada is not a good rapper either.
It's not even if you pick a state in your rapper name, it at least has to be not Montana.
Yeah.
Anything, dude.
You know what? Mine's gonna
you mean
be English
Florida?
Florida.
Yo, it's French Oregon. What's up, dude? Way cooler than French Montana.
It's German Michigan here, boys.
So he had an interview where he felt as if he was like cornered into saying something along the lines of this. So he's like, yeah, we go hit for hit in terms of anthems. But yeah, and then dude, when I looked on Twitter about this, I was cracking up because someone said French does have more hits, but can't sell as many as half as many tickets, which was fucking hilarious. But he said, all I was saying was my point exactly. We're different artists. What was I supposed to say? I gotta get mine, which is such a French Montana thing to say, dude. He's such a bitch.
Dude, it's such a rapper stupid shit. Dude!
But you heard it here first. You
It's
ready?
so stupid, dude.
Because-
That's such a fucking...
You know why? Because your boys got the statistics. This is where we sort things out on the least informative podcast about French Montana and Kendrick Lamar.
What's up the stats, man?
French Montana. How many number ones does he have? 0. Kendrick Lamar. 2. French Montana. How many hits got on the top 10 hits? 2. Kendrick Lamar. 8. How many chart entries did French Montana had? 17. Kendrick Lamar. 48. And lastly,
not even close, dude.
for the Recording Industry Association of America, as known as the RIAA, where basically they sort out if you have gold, platinum songs and stuff like that, they give out, those little plaques and stuff like that.
Which is so crazy that they got some backlash when streaming became like part of the formula, and now it's part of the norm.
Oh yeah,
Side note.
absolutely. And so French Montana had 4 songs go gold, which I was very surprised with. Kendrick had 15. French Montana had 9 platinum hits. And lastly, Kendrick had 24. So to say that you have more hits as an up-and-coming artist, well, not up-and-coming, someone that's just been part of the game for fucking ever, dude. French Montana, scrub. That's my mouth. I just wanted to say it loud.
Dude, French Montana, I'm going to say right now, is literally like most of his singles are because he's featured on it.
Yeah.
And he's the worst part of the fucking song, dude.
You know how you said last podcast that Travis Scott is the Fortnite of rap? I would say French Montana is the PUBG of rap.
No. He's like the Realm Royale of rap.
You would say PUBG's better than Realm Royale?
No, I'd say Realm Royale is
Oh, so
like
you're
a
saying he's
knockoff
like
Fortnite.
Oh, okay. So he's like the great value fucking
Yeah.
Oh,
like
the great
PUBG,
value Fortnite.
PUBG is
The
still
wholesale
admired
version?
as a good game, Brandon. You can't bash PUBG.
But we love Realm Royale.
I know that, but
We
I
gotta
mean, it's
play
like a
that sometime.
knockoff Fortnite.
dude.
Like French Montana is like a knockoff Travis Scott.
Very, very. All right, I'll take it.
Arthur, do you have any input on the genre of music you listen to the most?
Oh, the John, dude, I just
No, I mean like hip hop, Kendrick Lamar, and French Montana are all regular names in your every day-to-day playlist, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. Were they?
Oh man.
Oh man. Dude,
Hey, fun fact. Did you know that Starry Night was painted the same year Nintendo was founded in 1889?
huh?
Shut the fuck up, dude. No way.
Yeah, dude, because Nintendo used to make playing cards before it made video game systems, so it was founded the same year.
That's definitely okay. Got you. I was thinking like, oh my god, it only took us 120 years to create the first handheld device. Like,
No, dude, like that's literally, dude. They've been around for fucking ever, and people are having a meltdown because the Starry Night is obviously like. It seems like it was made in like the 1800s. Well, it was made in the 1800s, but like 1800s seems like.
it seems
much
like it was
longer.
made in like
The
1889,
1800s feel like
somewhere around
1500s,
there.
you know?
No, I feel you. The 2000s are only 10 years behind us. Kind of that
Oh
sort
god,
of logic,
please
you know?
no.
Dude, can we talk about how well next year everyone was born in the fucking 2020 like in the new millennia?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel that.
Dude, they're turning 21. if they were
That's what I'm
born,
saying, dude.
Getting old, bro.
Like Brian, you've been in the States for 21 years.
Yeah.
Your move to the fucking United States is legally allowed to drink.
Dude, don't say it like that. Oh, man. But Arthur, thank you so much. I think we could probably, we're at 2 hours right now in terms of streaming, but we wanted to thank you, dude. Like fucking
Yeah, of course.
You're our first quarantine guest, and I don't think we would want to have anyone else as our first quarantine guest in terms of you being such a close friend and us going way the fuck back. And I think everyone really appreciated you being here. You had some great insight, and especially in terms of your job field and stuff. I was enlightened from it.
Well, I mean, yeah, man. Like, thanks for having me on here. It was always a blast talking to you guys, and honestly, like these 2 hours flew by so fast.
Yeah,
dude,
right?
It's so weird.
So fast.
Brennan, this is why it took so long to get back from the break. Is because me and Arthur were talking about how previous guests, aka our girlfriends, were well, my girlfriend, your wife, was talking about how surprised they were by how quickly it passes by, because when they usually think like, oh, like we're just like, why is it taking so long? Like, why are they talking for so long? And then they were here, and then all of a sudden it was 2 hours, and it was like, all right,
absolutely,
the podcast is over, and like, what do you mean?
As opposed to the people in the audience that are like, can they fucking end the stream already? I'm here to see Arthur, and he hasn't even talked in like 5 minutes. No. But yeah,
so for those of you tuning in and are interested in any updates and any information regarding Arthur Chen's upcoming esports bar, he has a website that you guys can tune into. It's called wellplayedbar.com. It's spelt the way I said it. I hope. Well played, the past tense, bar.com. And if you guys want to go check him out, feel free to check out the website. He's got a lot coming in, and I'm excited because like I prefaced in the Instagram story, it was interesting to see all the steps that go into it, like from our phone call and everything, and seeing how much work really goes into it. And you think there's a lot of work, but once you actually break down like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, like it adds up very quickly, as opposed to like, hey, I'm going to start a bar, but it's like, no, there's so much going into it. And then you have to look at the real estate, and you have to look at location and how just everything comes together. So if you guys want to tune into the journey, definitely go check out that website. He's a good friend of ours. He's one of our closest friends, and I had a blast talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I had a blast too. Thanks for having me on here, guys.
Yeah, of course. And for those interested in us, I know we hit 150 subs. We got Arthur's plug. We're obviously going to plug ourselves at the end. If you're looking for merch, we have the American Tano shirt. We have the Torn Between Two Brothers shirt. Not only shirts, but a ton of fucking merch. So go to Shop Spreadshirt. You can search us at Torn Between Two Brothers. We do audio podcasts. We do video podcasts. We fucking are everywhere, dude. We're on Instagram. I was gonna say Snapchat. We're on fucking Instagram. Our logos on our Xbox, or at least Justin's, is the Torn Between Two Brothers. We're on TikTok.
We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. So we're on any place you can
literally
listen.
Wherever you see us, do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe, anything
Please subscribe.
You want to do.
Okay, the biggest thing for us, okay, and I don't want to overtalk Brendan, but the one thing is the word is spread, like the word of mouth spreading around is the biggest thing. And I know we're not supposed to be spreading mouths during the coronavirus, but please tell your friends, your family to come subscribe and follow and comment and tune in every week. We're live every week, 7:30 on Wednesdays p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those of you that are from the West Coast supporting our man Arthur. And definitely shoot us a subscribe. That's the biggest way you guys can help, or like, comment, or even leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We don't care. Any interaction helps the podcast. You guys don't even understand. So
fuck yeah, dude. But yeah, so I guess that's farewell. I'm gonna fucking mute the voices. Your boy's gonna fucking go to the outro. I'm gonna go to the intro. Wait. We're gonna start back the podcast. What?
Hey, Brandon, what was the Arthur theme song?
What? Oh.
What?
Oh, like when you're walking down the street.
When you're walking down the street. I don't know.
I don't remember, dude. We're gonna have to talk about this after.
That's the entire theme song.
We're gonna have to talk about this after.
And there's a Arthur. Okay.
And there's an Arthur I see. And he's looking
it's
so
like,
fine.
and I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
Hey,
You learn to
what a
love
wonderful
me.
kind of day. And then that's how to play. And then we
Get
all
along
get
with
each
each
other. Hey, what a wonderful kind of day. And never is a day. And we can be friends.